So, Alex, what do you know about the guy named Peter
I know he has a
Levels? Have you heard
sweet
about this guy
name.
at all?
He has a cool name. He looks great. I love his presentation. That's about it.
Can you see the tab I'm sharing?
I can.
All right, awesome. Okay, so Peter Levels is kind of like the OG digital nomad. He's become really popular on Twitter over the last like 10 years, basically. I think in 2014 is really when he started tweeting and becoming pretty popular. But basically, Peter's super interesting. So he lives all over the world. He's lived in hundreds of countries, I think like 120 something at this point. And he's in his, I think, late 20s or early 30s now. And he's been doing this for the last 10 years where he basically just will build little side projects. And his whole goal is to launch little side projects that make passive money within a couple months. Um, and on his in his Twitter bio, he shows basically just his most profitable companies and how much they're making every month. So he's super transparent with his money. On his website, he breaks down all of the different things he's working on and how much money they're making. So you can see right here, this therapist.ai is making 4K in monthly revenue. And then he's got websites doing 40 and 50K monthly revenue. He's got four that look like they're above 40K. Um, and I was looking at these. Some of these are just like really interesting. Like I would use this. Like so this photo AI one, I'll
He
show you
said
what it
my
does, but
my book is 14K a month. What? Did you see that in his bio?
is it, where does he put that? Oh yeah, my book makes 14K a month. Yeah, so he also
Oh,
has
I
a
thought
book that
that's
makes
the
him money
cost of
too.
it.
So
But that's the okay, that's the
no, no,
price.
no. I think that's how much he makes from it.
Okay.
So if you look at this website, create beautiful AI photos and videos of real people. And if you look at like this actually would be like this is a great idea. Like I upload a photo of myself and then I can get like really high quality photo for LinkedIn or something. And then that
Mm,
way I don't have to like hire a photographer and do all this fancy stuff. I just get really awesome photos by taking a quick photo of myself. I'm probably going to use this afterward.
yeah.
Um, but so this is what he does. He just launches these websites. And here, I want to show you this other one because you can see that he is super minimalist in how he approaches building these sites. So Alex,
Dude, I'm
um, I
interested. Let me
just switched,
yeah.
I just switched tabs. Uh, did you notice any difference?
No. Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Very
He
templated.
he reused the exact same design template for interior AI, which is literally just the same thing, but for designing an interior, like the room for your house or something. So you take a photo of your room, maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's some other room in your house,
Wow.
and then the AI will just generate for you like a really cool design based on whatever aesthetic you're going for. And then you probably have to go just try to find where to buy the furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is a really cool idea. Anyway, these are making him 40 and 50K a month. And he kind of details how he does it in this old blog post of his. He has over 100,000 tweets. I think he's tweeted over 100, just tweeting like little tidbits of wisdom, stuff about his blog. Uh, really, really interesting stuff. But he put it all in this blog post about kind of how he does this. So, a couple things that I've learned after kind of I've learned about this guy through different podcasts and different sort of appearances he's made on the internet elsewhere. Um, he is a coder, but he doesn't do it in a traditional way. He basically builds all of his websites with this old programming language. I say old, but a lot of people probably think that's very Gen Z of me. But PHP is the name of the software language he uses, and he tries to build everything in PHP, full stack PHP as much as he can. Um, and that's what he does. And he just spins up these websites as quickly as he can. He launches them. I can tell you how he does it. I don't know if he's using paid media these days, but I want to get into this blog post because this is a really interesting blog post on how he does this. And he just travels the world and he has like lots of posts on sort of like his life philosophy, like minimalism, how he travels, like all these different choices he makes and sort of, his life philosophy, how he decides to break up his time and why he likes building stuff and doing it this way. So let's dive in a little bit into this blog post. But um, I'm going to skim through it really quickly, but I think that the key things that I wanted to touch on are like how he launches and how he builds. Those are the two main things because to
Yeah.
me, I know how to build a website or how to do it, but how to do it in the way he does it is very, very different than how to do it in like a traditional startup, where you raise venture capital, you build a team, and then you build this really like scalable thing that he does not subscribe to this method at all. Very, very different. He's an indie hacker. That's his whole approach is like just me. I'm building this stuff myself by myself, and I don't want any outside capital, and I'm going to try to make passive money from it. So let's jump right in. Um, Basically, this is what he says. I've built lots of startups and side hustles in the last 4 years. They're mostly bootstrapped, and bootstrap means that you build a business without any funding. So you don't go to San Francisco, get venture capital from big, old, fat, rich white guys. No offense, his words. um, Instead, you do it yourself with your own skills, and that's very fascinating to him. So basically you can see this little from 2018. This blog post is 6 years old. He's lived all over basically Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, bunch of different places, and he's just bounced around there and made passive money doing this using this process. So I'm going to get into the process. Before I jump into the process, though, I do want to talk a little bit about his backstory because I think it's really interesting. Um, he basically started doing this right when he graduated from university. He got a business degree, so he wasn't like a CS degree or anything like that. He's not some coding prodigy or anything. He was really bored. All his friends got corporate jobs. He had a YouTube channel for EDM, right? So electronic dance music. He's making a few $1,000s a month from that, but that's a good amount of money for a student. Um, and so I'm guess I'm just trying to summarize here, but he basically took the idea that, oh, I can like make money through YouTube. I'm making a few $1,000s a month doing this. Like, why don't I just try to like do this with more stuff, and then I can just make enough to like live on that. And so basically, he decided to do this thing called 12 startups in 12 months. So we all think grand launch of a product. So you spend months or year or 2 years or 5 years building a product, and then you launch it and you raise a ton of money to do that. And then the hope is that when you launch, you're going to start making money and you can basically become a profitable business. So the idea with a startup is you're kind of like slingshotting yourself into orbit with a bunch of venture capital. But he basically decided, I'm going to do 12 startups in 12 months and basically launch one company every month. And they're just going to be these little websites, these ideas I have that I think could be profitable websites. And so that was his goal. He said, I'm going to do each of these in 1 month, and they're going to work. And I'm going to make it so that they have the opportunity for monetization right up front and see which ones stick. So he made a few of these. The first one that stuck was this thing called Go Fucking Do It. He had a bunch of other ideas, like a little gift book. So you could make like gifts, and then you kind of put them together in a book and you can send them to people, like just like yeah. Anyway, kind of an interesting little idea, but he ended this thing called Go Effing Do It is the website that really took off. Basically, you could enter a goal and a deadline, and you set a price and you enter your credit card, and on the day, basically you can use your friends to validate whether or not you reached your goal, and if you didn't reach your goal, then Pieter Levels charges your credit card. So that was the idea, and it apparently worked. He was making $500 a month with this, and then 700, and then it kept growing and growing, and he was making good money. And so the idea was that he figured, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing this and see how far I can take some of these things. So his process is basically how can I launch as quickly as possible? So he has a 1 month deadline for building a prototype, and then he launches it. And I'll go into the launch process. But his 1 month building time. Anyway, Alex, I'm going to pause here. Do you have any thoughts so far?
No. Well, I have some questions, but I feel like you might have already gone over them, so they're probably stupid questions. But
No, ask him.
so, how does he come up with the idea? And also, is he planning to just launch like a simple website? Is that like he just wants to launch a simple website SaaS type of thing? And how does he come up with the
Yeah,
ideas?
exactly. So some of them are SaaS based. Some of them, like that Go Effing Do It, are per goal, right? You get charged amount per goal or something.
Yeah.
Um, but the way he comes up with these ideas is really interesting. I love the way he framed this. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a I'm just going to explain this. So he says, the problem is we're all very similar. Look at us. A lot of guys here have beards and short hair and trimmed on the sides like me. So it's BS. That means we all start getting the same ideas because we all have the same problems. So you want to become less homogenous. So how do you do that? Well, you have to start doing crazy stuff. So he basically says, go join some subculture or some niche group and just like become one of them and get into it. And basically niches equals riches. That's his goal. So he basically
Yeah.
says, go like become connected to a problem that only exists for a small niche. And the internet allows you to take what was previously a tiny niche that was kind of neglected by a local economy. And you have the internet that can basically take this tons of local niches and bring all those people together, and you can have a website that drives traffic for hundreds of thousands of people that in their local economies or local markets are kind of ignored. And that was his idea, is basically create websites that address niches. And then you can usually, with a typical business, you can take a niche and you just kind of expand it outward from that original super niche spot. You can just build outwardly, and that's how you scale a business once you've kind of identified a niche and started monetizing it. So that's what he's saying. He's saying find new subcultures to get into. Fringe subcultures are really good because when it's taboo, nobody else is doing it yet, so it's competitive advantage. And you might find some business or app idea or service idea, but you have to become original, because otherwise you're making the same crap everyone else is making, and that's not going to make you any money. So he's basically saying start small, it's better. And yeah, niche is cool because if you have $100 products, you only need 10,000 people for $1 million, right? So he's basically saying like, one of the cool things about niches is people will pay more for the product because it's rare. And you only need 10,000 people for here. So he has this nice chart, how to make $1 million, make a $5,000 product for 200 people, make a $2,000 product for 500 people, make a $1,000 product for 1,000 people. And then he goes down the list. So you can just, the sort of very easily putting into kind of a mental framework on how attainable $1 million really is. So
In the next paragraph, he says you can also make an idea list. Every time I have the idea, I write it in a concept list. It's all BS ideas, but whatever. I see which ones are promising and keep coming back to me, and then I might start building them. And it's just good track. I do it in Workflowy or Trello or whatever. Write it because you might need the idea later. I think a lot of the remote work ideas I had, that came months before I actually did them. Okay.
yeah. So his thought process is totally one of quantity over quality. He's basically saying, come up with an idea list. Any little idea you have that you could put into a website, put it in a list, and then, 1 month. You have 1 month to go build it. And so he's basically saying like, okay, if you don't know how to build it, just Google it. You can find whatever you need on YouTube, on Stack
Yeah.
Overflow, whatever it is.
You
You
should learn to
can
code
go
yourself.
very quickly build that thing. And he gives himself a 1 month deadline, launch it, and see if it gets any bit of traction. Now, this is in 2018, so I don't know. He doesn't address any paid ads here, but he does say the three things he uses to launch are a website called Product Hunt, which I've heard of, but I've never used. But he says here that Product Hunt will get you 10,000 users or visits. So in other words, like, you can get a good bit of traffic just by listing on Product Hunt, and then once you get that traffic, you can kind of see whether or not it will work, right? So you'll get traffic to your thing, and then if you get some people that buy and you start getting some conversions, okay, well, now there's something here. Maybe it's worth actually investing in paid media or just something else, like paid ads or whatever it is, to get more people to your site. So he launches on Product Hunt. He launches on Hacker News, which is a pretty popular one in San Francisco for sure. But yeah, it's really important to do. It's kind of like a build-in public approach with Hacker News, because it's mostly hackers, like mostly other coders and stuff. So the idea with Hacker News is kind of just get it out there and then see what other people say, and kind of how they would give you feedback, and they'll kind of rip it apart for you. Um, and then the people that like it will hopefully use it. And then Reddit, of course, is his other one. That's a very popular thing nowadays. But the idea is you go on a subreddit for a very niche thing and you say, hey guys, I built this app. And here's the thing about Reddit, because I've tried to do this, I've done it myself. Reddit and the mods on Reddit are extremely picky about what they will tolerate in the subreddit. So anything marketing or business related where you're trying to like self promote is very much that's like what the mods try to get rid of. So literally what they try to that's what they're there for, is to get rid of businessy and marketing self promotion. So you have to be really upfront and personal. He basically says you want to add a little bit of value to the subreddit before promoting yourself. And the idea here being that you basically say, hey guys, I built this thing. I think it would be helpful. Please let me know what you think. Like if you don't like it, no problem. I just wanted to like throw it out here. I thought it could be useful. So that's his approach there. And then those are really his three tips for launching: is Product Hunt, Hacker News, and Reddit.
And he
I
gets
don't know
all of
how
his
valuable.
traffic from there. Does he do any ads or anything?
That's how he launches. So that's how
Oh,
he like figures out whether or not something is gonna
okay.
work before
Yeah.
investing in ads and stuff. And I don't know if he uses ads at all because he has such a big Twitter following now.
Yeah.
When he has a new product idea, he literally just posts it on Twitter and gets a ton of traffic through Twitter. So
Oh, this concept of audience keeps coming back to us. Dude, audience is just a hack to life, bro. So, anyways,
yeah, totally.
tangent.
So I think this is super interesting. I mean, the guy's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with 0 employees. And he just kind of breaks down how he does it here, how he used to do it at least. There's other forums too, like bodybuilding.com is another really popular forum. He's basically saying that the way to do this is go after and then find a forum that has, that sort of concentrates a bunch of people that participate in that subculture or that niche, and then advertise your product to them by just saying, hey, I built something, I think it'd be useful, could I get some feedback on it? People will go visit, get some he'll get feedback for it, maybe he'll get users, he'll get traffic, and then I think from there my advice would be, once you decide whether or not something is worth it by like seeing how much traffic you're getting, then you should go back and then decide, okay, maybe I should run some Facebook ads, or maybe I should run ads for this thing and try to get more people on it. So I think this guy's super interesting. I've heard about him, but I'm definitely going to look over his blog more and try to get some more insights. But I think this is really cool. What do you
No,
think,
yeah.
Al?
That was really interesting. I'm definitely gonna look more into his stuff. Um, he has a YouTube channel, but it looks like no recent videos except for there is one recent video called Effective Accelerationism last 2 months ago, and then a 6 month ago video, and then after that they're all 3 and 4 years ago. Um, but his one of his most viewed videos is that, I think, that presentation you're talking about, how to build a startup without funding. He's walking through the presentation there. It's an hour long video. So maybe I'll check that out, or just he also has that blog. What was the title of that blog post that you're reading from?
It was called shoot, what was it called? Give me one sec. Turning side projects into profitable startups.
Okay, yeah, it was launched. That blog post was 24th of
His Twitter
January
is really great
2018.
too.
What's
Like,
up? Oh, yeah, his Twitter.
yeah. So he
Yeah,
has this tweet that he put out in 2021. So this is years ago. It's like his Twitter bio is does not reflect this today. But back in 2021, he said only 4 out of the 70 plus projects I ever did made any money and grew. 95 greater than 95% of everything I ever did failed. My hit rate is only about 5%. So ship more. He's basically
yeah.
saying like, you got to throw more stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
But
Like
how
this will
much is he
work if you
losing?
are willing to do the quantity with it.
How much money is he putting into these? Zero, or very like under $50, or what? Like, because he's pretty much just coding it using a simple
I mean,
website. Yeah,
he's using PHP and very simple like website builder tools like card.io,
yeah,
stuff like that. He's using very simple
art.co.
website builders, PHP. Sometimes if it's a more technical thing that you can't do with a simple website builder. Yeah, and he's just absolutely throwing very simple stuff at the wall and just seeing what's going to get traffic. Um, I
I
don't
like
know
it.
if he's running ads or anything, but he is totally all in on just throwing stuff at the wall and see what works.
Yeah. So, did he learn PHP by himself, like self-taught, or was he a
Yep.
coder at college or some shit? Or no?
Self-taught PHP.
Wow.
I don't think he learned any. Yeah, he definitely didn't learn coding in college.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So
Wow. Interesting.
look at this post he
How?
has. how to feel like you're getting ahead, but actually procrastinating, and it's just a picture of a bunch of self-help books.
The Napoleon Hill books and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I don't even know. Is there a Napoleon Hill book in there? Probably. Gotta be.
probably. But yeah, there's like Atomic Habits and,
Yeah.
30 days and build a second brain, all this stuff. Anyway, it's kind of funny.
No, that's cool. How long do you think it would it take me to learn PHP and build some type of like I don't even know. Like what can I even build with coding language like that, you know? I don't
Well,
even
here's
know.
here's the thing. Like, I don't even know how I would do this today because I don't
Yeah.
know what exists out there. Like, there are
Yeah.
website builder. There are like
Yeah.
full full stack, no code or low code tools out there that you can use to build websites, like Shopify. Um, there's Bubble. Bubble, I think, is like a low code or no code full stack like application builder, so you can build like stuff with an actual back end. And I guess like I would actually not think about like, oh, how can I build something that will work? I would say like, how can I build a storefront that I can just see what will get traffic, and then just see if people click on like the try it now button, right? Like, and then like it's kind of like a false store advertisement. Like you click on the button and then it says, oh, site is still under development, but we're working here. We're working to get
Yeah.
this ready or something like that.
Also,
And
does
you
he
can
have a
just get an
team?
idea for what's going to work. What?
Does he have a team or
No,
solo?
that's his whole thing. It's only him and his
Okay.
laptop, zero employees,
Yeah.
nothing.
I
And he
like that.
just travels. That's all he does. And he makes
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with all these projects. But Alex, if you're asking, like, I think that, yeah, you could 100% learn how to code and do all of this stuff. I think it's very attainable nowadays. So I'm going to give you a little stat. There are 90,000 mechanical engineers in the US. Guess how many software engineers there are in the US?
40.
4 million.
Yeah. That makes sense.
90,000 mechanical engineers, 4 million software engineers. So, writing software is something that is one, not that hard to do. I think being a mechanical engineer is way harder, but the ocean that is the internet, and sort of like all the stuff that can be turned into software, all the stuff we do, like as like just in society and in economies, that has yet to be turned into a software product, is still so massive. The opportunity is so big. It's an ocean, right? Like there's so much to be done that the demand for software engineers is going to continue to rise, and the people that can go out and build a good product that can get some monthly revenue and stuff, I think that the opportunity is still huge right now. So I guess I would say if you're looking for someone to stoke the fire, I would say you absolutely can learn anything you would need to. But I think for figuring out whether or not something can get traction, I don't think you even need to learn how to code. I think you can build a storefront with card.io and all these other tools and just get stuff for free without having to learn any of these software tools before deciding, okay, actually this is getting a lot of traction. I need to focus in on this and like see if I can build it up. I think
Yeah.
that's totally possible. No.
Sell before you build type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Very interesting.